I am 48. I've been an endurance athlete most of my life. I started distance running in high school and really took it to distance running as most people would understand it in college. I've been skiing since I was 6. I'm a former ski racer. And when you start out at a young age doing sports like that, you tend to have them become part of your personality. So it's not something that you want to part with. Because of all those sports, I've had lots of surgery. And I've had, including Dr. Stone's procedure that he did, I've had 4 surgeries on the same knee because I kept tearing the meniscus and they kept trimming it and removing pieces of it. One time I had it repaired. The repair held, but it tore somewhere else. And I kept on doing what I do. The last injury was last January, and I went from doing 2 Ironman triathlons last year to hardly being able to walk without pain, all within about 2 months of the last race. Came through the race fine, was running afterwards with my son. We went skiing, and we took one run down this trail that's not a challenge. I was laying it over on my edges a lot, and at the bottom I could hardly walk. And so fast forward one trip to Jackson Hole where it was confirmed by me that I couldn't ski without pain. And I went on the internet, literally in my hotel room at Jackson Hole, searching for surgical options because I knew I'd had my meniscus trimmed, and I knew that I'd had it repaired, and there had to be a bigger picture solution for me to maintain not just my lifestyle, but my personality. What I do and how I relieve stress and how I celebrate is by moving forward. So I found Dr. Stone. I have some friends who are ski guides, and they helped me get to him. And I came out for an evaluation in February, and he said, don't beat yourself up over what you've done to your knee all these years. The good news is I can fix it. So I scheduled surgery for 10 days after I visited him and had a meniscus allograft transplant. I have to say that again. A meniscus allograft transplant, which is transplanting a meniscus from a cadaver to me. And I also had an articular cartilage paste graft. Because in continuing to run and ski at the amounts that I'm used to doing with the damaged meniscus, I ate away at the end of my bone and damaged the articular cartilage to where it was what I understand an outer bridge 4 classification of damage, which is bone on bone. It was about as bad as it could get. I'm from the East Coast, and the surgical options for me at my age there are pretty much get a knee replacement. But I'm only in my 40s, and I am an active person, and knee replacements don't last as long as I plan to continue being active. So that didn't seem like a very viable option. Dr. Stone's option makes a lot more sense because it gives you the hope of continuing what you do. And in someone my age, I think it's a lot more reasonable to get a biological knee replacement than to have an artificial knee put in that's only going to last 10 years, and at the amount that I would probably try to use it, it'd probably last less long than that. I had the procedure done in March of 2010. It's now December 2010, so I'm 9 months post-surgery, and I've signed up for another Ironman race in November of 2011, and he's not telling me not to do it. I don't have a lot of long runs left in me, probably even with the procedure that I got, but I have a lot of running in me, and I have a lot of skiing and a lot of cycling, and maybe even a lot of distance running. It kind of depends on how it goes, but the comparison of those odds with the odds that you have after a knee replacement, it's night and day. With a knee replacement, you don't run. You're done. You walk, you ride your bike. Probably don't ski the way I'm used to skiing either, so that's not good. I'm 9 months post-surgery. I am on the bike. I was on the bike as soon as I could get the range of motion. I worked extremely hard. I am at work at my job at 6:30 in the morning, so every day I'm up at 4, and I work out in the morning. And then I work out again when I'm done working at my job. I'm treating it like an endurance race. The rehab's hard if you're religious about it, and if you treat it like a race and prepare, you get to where I feel that I've gotten. I was riding so far this summer that they had to rein me in. I was training for a century ride, which is 100 miles, And I was 3 days short of the century ride, and I was telling the PTs here how great it was going, and I don't think I need to see you in September because everything's great. And they said, oh, you can't ride that far yet? And so they pulled me out of my century plans and backed me off. But now I'm back up, 60-mile ride's nothing. I can pool run, I can elliptical run. They had me out on their elliptigo machine today, which is awesome. It combines an elliptical trainer with being outside, which is great. Strength training, lifting, swimming, pretty much everything except running, and that's coming. So I'm optimistic. But it is a lot of hard work, and you have to be committed to it. And if you are, you get the payback.